And this is an actress who gets it.
It's not tucked. This one's tucked. Continuity crazy.
If you do it wrong, it just becomes silly, you know, and it just becomes kind of funny, and we didn't want that to be the case.
It's really about the believability of the character itself. If you are engrossed in the scene and you think Elena is Elena and Katherine is Katherine, the split screens are sort of irrelevant.
And I've never seen anything like it in my life when that was cut together. It was astounding to me. There were no mistakes. She had every line down for both characters. She was acting opposite nothing, and yet she was delivering the performance of the season for both characters, and it was astonishing.
What else is needed to break the curse? Look who's getting smart.
To Katherine or Elena, depending on what the look is, when it's the sort of the established curly look versus the established straight look, it takes about an hour one way or the other.
Whenever they're setting up lights, I'm not sitting there, I'm running across stage, getting my hair changed, and then coming back. Don't be frightened. We're gonna have so much fun together.
Finding someone like Nina, it's all about finding that one person that I connected to, that I see and go, I can write for that person, and then that perfect storm happens, which I feel like this Vampire Diaries is that perfect storm.
It's wonderful being on set, watching Nina's performance.
Nina is fabulous. She's, you know, as good as it gets.
I'm really enjoying their performance, and I have to sort of pinch myself to remind myself, you're here looking at the makeup.
I can't imagine playing two different characters entirely. It's interesting how well she took to it.
She's really, really worked hard this year, and it's not easy.
She's just on fire.
I was kind of thinking about it, how are they going to do that? And it started off with split screen.
Of course, the actress can't shoot that scene like a normal scene. She can't sit there and talk to herself.
We had a body double who would stand, and I would plan how I would play each side. They would have to imitate every little movement I did from behind so as to not give away that it wasn't actually me. And then they would do a split screen, so we'd draw lines, and I had a limit of where I could walk and talk because they would cut it in half.
They lock off the camera and they can split a screen straight down the middle of them.
And magically tape it, scotch tape, and it looks like one.
And she was really good with a split screen. Think about it, these are young actors. They don't know all the visual tricks. This is an actress who picked it up.
It's a challenging task editorially. Nobody really knows until you sit there and actually do the split screens and put this line against that line. You don't even know how it's going to feel. Is it going to feel like two people talking, or is it going to feel like, you know, the same actress looking in a mirror?
The reality with those things for me is that once I started cutting those scenes, I tried to honestly forget as much as I could that I had the same actress. I got half of those scenes on one day and half of them the next day. So I basically sort of pre-selected takes I liked, and then it became almost matching in the back half of it to the, you know, the half I'd already created.
The same actress is playing the two characters, so you actually have to find performances that distinguish the characters.
You didn't really escape. You've been running from Klaus ever since. I underestimated his spirit for vengeance. Living out of a suitcase is better than dying so that you can have your blood spilled over some silly little rock. I have to think about what's going to happen and how I'll react. If Katherine says a line and she's snarky, I have to remember that for when I'm playing Elena, oh, she was just being snarky. I have to react offended. What's wrong? Afraid I'm right? And so there's just a lot of work and preparation and planning. Not when you look in the mirror and you look different. It helps you feel different and walk different when you put on the heels, and your hair, when my hair is just like longer and I can just like play with it, and my strut, I have this like walk that I do. It really, the physical and visual really transforms the internal.
Yeah, it is always interesting seeing Nina transform into one of the other characters.
You can just tell when it's Katherine, and then when it's Elena, it's like purity and innocence, and it's very obvious.
There is a very big separation within the two characters. You can just tell when it's an Elena day, you can tell when it's Katherine day. You know, she has a little extra sass in her step.
She embraces it, not just externally, but internally, and you can see it in her eyes.
When Nina and I were talking at the beginning of the season about how to differentiate these two characters, I said, the biggest thing that will help you is when Elena looks at somebody, she's looking at them from a place of pure honesty. Katherine will look at someone, and though she might be pretending she believes, there's nothing inside of her that is honest.
She has these very specific outfits that she wears. I can tell when she's Katherine.
She gets to have the fun of differentiating the two characters just in her clothes.